Once you have your alchemical sulfur, the next thing we want to do after that is possibly going to be fermentation and digestion. So what this is actually going to do is you're going to be turning your alchemical sulfur into alchemical niter. So if you're wondering what is the difference, well, alchemical niter, as you can see, there's not that many of it. What we use the niter for is duplication, and that's going to be in the step that we do after the digestion process. So there's not one for like every item. We have abundant earthen materials or matters, and then common, and then abundant gems, which is the basic one, and then common gems, rare gems, precious gems, abundant metals, common, rare, precious metals, abundant other minerals, common, rare, precious, and some don't have anything. We have abundant logs, which is just the only one for logs, which is wood. We have abundant crops, which is the only one for crops. Abundant animal parts, common animal parts, and rare animal parts. Abundant mob drops, common mob drops, rare mob drops, and precious mob drops. So using the example that I used in the making alchemical sulfur part, we're going to be using the same alchemical potato sulfur for this. So because it is a crop and it's very common, it's going to turn into abundant crops alchemical niter. So you want to make a fermentation vat. And to make the fermentation vat, you will require any kind of alchemical sulfur. And then you just pump it full of water, as you can see here. Then, with the water, you're going to put in your alchemical sulfur, which in this case is our potato. So now we have in the fermentation vat, alchemical sulfur, potato, and water. However, we're going to need one more thing. If we look at potato in JEI and go to fermentation, you can see that we need some sort of something to ferment it with. Any kind of like sapling or leaf looks like it's going to be absolutely fine. One thing you can also use is fermentation starter. Now the fermentation starter, you can make 20 of in the way that I'm literally showing you. So in the alchemical fermentation vat, and you would put sugar and any kind of raw material. You can use wood, you can use saplings, flowers, etc., and some sal ammoniac. So sal ammoniac, sugar, and any kind of raw material that's like plants and stuff will make you 20 fermentation starter. And you can use the fermentation starter instead of whatever material you'd usually use for your fermentation. But for this, I'm just going to use saplings for my potato. Put in some saplings. So I've put in the alchemical sulfur potato, the oak sapling, and the water. And you can see here there's a big hole in the top. Well, I'm going to shift right-click, and that is going to close the vat so that it ferments in there. Okay, so now it is fermenting. It won't let you close it if your recipe is incorrect, by the way. As you can see now, after a few seconds, we now have one alchemical niter of abundant crops. Now we have two. It takes like only a few seconds to make this. If I right-click it, it says I cannot I cannot take or put into the vat while it's closed. So I shift right-click again and open it. I right-click and it will automatically take out the resulting item, which is abundant crops. What we can then do is actually make this into a lesser or higher tier of niter in the digestion vat. Now, because, remember, with our niter abundant crops, so what I'm about to say is this was a bad example to show you. There's only one of it. You can't get common, rare, or precious crops. It's just abundant. So the digestion vat wouldn't make any sense to use for this version. However, let's imagine that we made maybe some abundant other minerals. And we want to turn our abundant other minerals into common other minerals, and then maybe into rare, and then maybe precious. Well, we can do that in the digestion vat. The first thing we're going to need, however, is purified gold. Purified gold is also made in the digestion vat. So all you actually put in there is some salt, some water, and some gold. What I will show you in a minute is how to get the salt, by the way, so don't worry just yet about this, but I just want to show you how this works first. So you put in some water, some salt, and some gold, and you get purified gold. In the digestion vat, again, you just shift right click it to close it like you did with the fermentation vat. So I'm just going to skip that step and now show you how to make turning one item into another. So I'm going to put in a stack of purified gold. I'm going to put in my abundant other minerals, which is the common version, remember? And I'm going to need some sal ammoniac as well that we've made earlier. So I'm just going to right click the sal ammoniac in here, and I'm going to shift right click it, and you can see that the hole on top has closed when I shift right click it. And what's going to happen is the purified gold, the sal ammoniac, and 4 alchemical niter are going to turn into 1 common other minerals. So you can see I've used 1 gold, I've used 4 other minerals, and it's turned it into 1 common other minerals. So 4 of the base one will turn into 1 of the higher one. You can also put 1 of the higher quality in to get 4 of the lower quality if you wish. I haven't yet spoken about, don't worry, you haven't missed it, why we would be using alchemical niter. I'm going to be showing you that in the next step, which is this bit over here, after we go through salt. But this is how you use the digestion vats to make alchemical niter, and how to make higher and lower versions of it as well. So I can just shift right click this open, right click it, and now I've upgraded that into common other minerals. If I just right clicked to take everything out, I could then put in the common with the gold and the alchemical niter to actually upgrade it into a lower one, or I can, I can put in 4 alchemical niter. Doesn't seem to want me to put the gold in here, so maybe it doesn't want me to upgrade this one any further. But that's how you upgrade and degrade anyway.